Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that affects pretty much all of us, employee compensation. And let me tell you, it's a whole lot more than just a salary. It's a complex package of rewards, and we're going to break down exactly how it all works.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start by cracking open a paycheck to see what's really inside. Then we'll explore the three main types of pay. After that, we'll look at how companies actually build a fair pay system. We'll even get into the psychology of it all, and then we'll wrap up with what's happening in the modern workplace. Let's get into it. You know that feeling when you get a job offer? You stare at the numbers and the perks and you think, how did they come up with all this? Why do some companies offer one thing and others something totally different? Well, it's a puzzle we're about to solve together. To make all of this really hit home, we're going to follow the story of someone we'll call Maria. She just landed a fantastic job offer. And we're essentially going to look over her shoulder to see exactly how a modern compensation package is put together, piece by piece. All right, so what is actually in Maria's offer? We're going to use her package to deconstruct this big idea of total compensation and see what the foundational components really are. First things first, let's get a solid definition on the table. Compensation isn't just a price tag for your time. Think of it more like a total reward package. Yeah, it includes the money you can see and spend, but it also includes all that hidden value, the benefits that give you a really crucial safety net. Okay, so if you look at Maria's offer, it's really made up of three key parts. This chart shows it perfectly. You've got that big slice, direct pay, that's the cash. But the other two pieces are just as vital. Indirect pay, which is your benefits, and then non-financial rewards, which really affect your day-to-day life at work. Altogether, that's her total compensation.
So, what's inside each slice of that pie? Let's break down the three fundamental building blocks that make up any competitive job offer.
First up, we have direct pay. This is the cash. And companies are always trying to strike a balance here. On one side, you've got base pay. For Maria, that's her stable, predictable salary that she can count on. On the other side, you have variable pay. Think bonuses or commissions, things designed to really incentivize high performance. The trick is finding that sweet spot between stability and motivation.
The second piece of the puzzle is indirect compensation, or what we all call benefits. Now, this isn't cash in your pocket today, but it forms this massive safety net for your life. For Maria, this means health insurance for peace of mind, a retirement plan for her future, and paid leave for that crucial work-life balance. The value here is absolutely incredible, even if you don't always see it. And finally, we get to the third component, which is often a total game changer, the non-financial rewards. These are the things that impact your daily happiness and where your career is headed. Maria is absolutely thrilled that her new company is committed to career growth and offers flexible work. These are the kinds of perks that can boost motivation in a way that money alone just can't.
Okay, so we know what's in Maria's offer. But how did the company actually decide on that specific salary number? Let's flip the script for a second and look at this from the employer's point of view. It's not just a random number they pull out of a hat. There's a whole system behind it. To make sure pay is fair across the board, companies use a process called job evaluation. Now, there are simpler methods, like just ranking jobs or grouping them, but the most robust approach, the real gold standard, is the point factor method. This system assigns points to each job based on key factors like the skill required, the effort involved, and the level of responsibility. It creates a data-driven way to measure a role's real value. And that evaluation process leads to a formal pay structure, just like the one you see here. Jobs get slotted into these pay grades, and each grade has a salary range. The minimum is for someone who's new to the role, while the maximum is for an expert. So Maria's role falls into grade 3, and this system ensures her pay is both fair and consistent compared to everyone else in the company. So now we get the what and the why behind the numbers. But let's explore the how. How does compensation actually motivate people? This is where psychology comes into play. Because, let's face it, pay is deeply tied to our feelings of value, fairness, and worth. A huge concept here is something called equity theory. It says that we are constantly, whether we realize it or not, comparing our own effort and our rewards, our inputs and outputs, with our coworkers. So imagine Maria at her new desk. If she feels like the ratio of her effort to reward is basically the same as her teammates, she's going to feel satisfied and motivated. But if that scale feels tipped, that's when you get dissatisfaction and reduced effort. It's all about perception. Expectancy theory gives us another really powerful way to look at this. For Maria's compensation to truly be a motivator, three things have to be true in her mind. First, she has to believe that if she works hard, she'll perform well. Second, she has to trust that good performance will actually be rewarded. And third, she has to actually want the reward being offered. If any single link in that chain breaks, motivation just falls apart.
Okay, let's bring all this into the here and now. How are today's top companies using pay as a strategic tool? And what does the future of compensation even look like in this crazy, evolving world of work?
The smartest companies out there align their compensation directly with their business strategy. The takeaway is simple. What you reward is what you get. So if a company's main goal is groundbreaking innovation, they're going to reward creativity and risk-taking. If another company's goal is to be the lowest cost option, they're going to reward efficiency. Pay becomes this powerful lever to drive the exact behaviors you need to succeed.
And things are changing fast because employee expectations are changing. We're seeing this huge push for pay transparency to make sure things are fair. We're seeing stipends to help people work from home and a huge demand for benefits that support well-being, like mental health resources and genuinely flexible schedules. The very definition of compensation is getting bigger. And this quote really just sums it all up perfectly. If you view pay as just another expense on a spreadsheet, you're missing the whole point. It's one of the most critical investments a company can make in its people, the very people who are going to drive the business forward.
And that's our deep dive into the world of compensation. I really hope this explainer helped demystify what goes into that all-important package. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this breakdown valuable, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. We'll see you next time.